Hey, and everybody, and welcome to another Smoke and Mirrors. This episode is brought to you by the miracle of technology and also by the fun times that we have paying for the miracle of technology. And now, here's the song. Dun 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 Batman. And now here they are, your indelible host, Carlos Karim Wyndham. That's a that's a that's a whoo. That's a whoo. That's a whoo. That's a whoo. That's a glockenspiel, so you know it's real. Hey, it's Thursday. It's Thursday indeed. Mm. Hope you got you a big cup of fucks at home. So you gotta take one to give one. Everybody should give a fuck. Let's all figure out a way to give a fuck. Sip your fucks. Mm. Delicia. Delicia. Hey, how are you? It has been a long time. Hope that you are doing well. I am doing reasonably well. I'm hearing from Joshua that we may be having some streaming issues. They just said what we're going to do is come in on a slightly lower stream. So if it's not as HD today, I do apologize. There are weather issues happening in Portland, Oregon. It is right now sunny. A few minutes ago, though, there was like torrential amounts of hail again and some rain. And it's hey, if this is a thing that you're into, we love it. We love to see you here. We love to see you on the YouTube. We love to see you on the Facebook. Anywhere you want to see us, see us. We like that. What's running right there? That's a bunch of people who support us at the Patreon. We love each and every one of them. Sometimes we say their names. Today's not one of those days. It's not going to happen. But if this is your first time and or you would just like to throw $5 on it to the cause, that is, of course, $5 can be $1, $2, whatever. You can do that at Venmo at Carlos-Wyndham, Cash App, $, CK Wyndham, PayPal /me.CK Wyndham. And if you really want your name on the run, go ahead and do it. Become a member of the Patreon at Smoke and Mirrors CCB. That is for comedy, culture, and blackness. And here we go. Hey, one more time for it. Happy 420, everybody. Everybody except for white people with dreadlocks. We had this discussion in the 90s, and it's still not okay. So cut it out. Cut the shit. When I see somebody who is a white person with dreadlocks on the streets, often I will offer them a greeting of nice costume. We're going to get into some stuff. Hey, we love it when you slide into the chats. That's where you can see my girl Raven right now. Wonderful to see you here as ever. Out there on the YouTubes. If you are on the Facebooks, that's fine too. When you're one of the cool kids, you'll immigrate over to YouTube. We already told you where it is. We're going to talk about stuff today. There's some stuff I want to say ahead of time. In case anybody watching, in case this is an issue that you are disinterested in learning about, hearing about, thinking about, knowing about, we are going to address some issues of domestic violence just a little bit. Not going to be anything too very graphic. I don't want to. I don't like it. And I'm going to say ahead of time that I hope my dumb phone doesn't ring during this. I don't know how y'all are doing, but I'm getting about 7 to 8 phone calls a day that have nothing to do with anything. Some elderly people, though, are not getting their help with representation for getting their insurance claims filed, evidently. Weird scam. All right. Hey, let's talk WB. Discovery is a thing because mergers are allowed again in this country. We're not breaking anything up, Facebook, and we're allowing things to grow larger, Elon Musk, and bigger, Amazon, and not breaking them up the way that we should. And guess what? Well, the WB, the makers of the Justice League et al., they found a savior. They were sold to HBO, and then they moved over to Discovery, and now it's the WB Discovery is the new name. Yeah, I would no horns for that one. That's a raw for sure. For sure, they are putting out content. They're doing the best that they can. Fastest turnaround that I've ever seen on major theatrical release, finding its way to cable. We don't have cable anymore. Streaming, I guess, is what we're supposed to call it, even though I'm paying a cable bill for it. And I finally saw the WB's big current release. It's doing well, did reasonably well in the theaters. That, of course, is The Batman. Listen. Non-spoiler review first. Non-spoiler review. Non-first of The Batman. Non-spoiler review. At least it isn't Morbius. That's what I got. That's what I got. Okay, all right. Spoiler review in 3, 2, 1. Why is this movie so long? God, exhausting. Also from the WB, they are trying to figure out what to do for their future going forward. They had a plan. The Oscars, remember those a couple of weeks ago? I don't know if you know anything about it, or if you heard anything about it, but there was a best in class ceremony for actors in the film industry and filmmakers and such. And fans got to vote this year on an Oscar. The internet got to decide the most important thing or the best thing that happened in film in the Twitterverse last year. We were given that opportunity, and the hope was what the Oscars thought was going to happen was that Tom Holland and Zendaya would have to go to the Oscars because all of the very clear comic book fans, very clear thinkers would have been seeing the fact that, well, that was the comic book movie of the year. And so let's make that the popular movie, and then we'll give them an Academy Award. But what happened is the Oscars did not think through fans of the WB and the Batmans and the things that they like. And so what ended up happening is that Flash entering the time zone ended up winning an Oscar. The Flash entering the Speed Force, or as I like to call it, the Time Zone, won an Oscar for something. You're not helping the Oscars. You're not helping. You are not helping yourself. Anyway, I was a little bit not entirely angry at it for a minute. Because I don't know, superhero, whatever. But I'd seen Ezra Miller, the Flash, in some interviews over the past couple of years where comic book fans see such things, where I do my research and such, and learned that Ezra Miller is a non-binary person, as myself. They, them pronouns, thank you very much. And I was very happy for them to be a non-binary person. Now, when I say non-binary, there's different levels, right? We're all and it's flow. It's we're gender expansive. We're fluid. We're growing. We're doing different things. Many are deeply trans. Many are deeply masked. Many are slightly feminine. I mean, there's some. It's very feminine. It's a panoply. We're all kinds of flavors. All kinds of flavors in there. And this is a very fashionable, contours, lipsticks, all the things. Just a gorgeous non-binary icon on the runway. I do know that other people say non-binary, but the thing is, if we're trying to break the binary, you can't say binary when you're trying to break it. So I say non-binary. So, here's the issue, though, is that non-binary icon of the millennials, Ezra Miller, it also is you're not helping. We have been trying to see a Flash movie happen for like 7 years, give or take. Ezra has been deeply involved. They co-wrote the script. They finally got all of this right. They were moving the Flash into be the center of this new multiverse that they were going to do. Where did they get that idea? And then Batman, the old Batman, is coming. Not the Batman, the new Batman, the scary Batman. Why is it so sad Batman? It's the Batman, the Michael Keaton Batman is going to be there, and it's going to be this and that, and it's supposed to be really cool, right? This great opportunity, and then they kept getting catching charges because they were doing weird things like assaulting women in public, like choking a fan, sort of, and then robbing a bunch of other fans in Hawaii, and doing some other behaviors like that kept getting them arrested. And listen, as a non-binary, who knows that we are often written as the feminine, hyper, vengeful, and villain, scarred emotionally or physically in every movie, including movies from the WB, the Joker, and fancy boys, this sort of thing, always the enemy in the films. And the thing is, when we're fancy boys in real life and we are also the enemy of the people all the time and choking fans, and abusing women publicly, you're not helping those of us who don't have the privilege to do what WB had him do, and all the publicists. To see what they decided to do was they were just not going to talk about it. They were going to ignore it. They kept trying to bury it by just pretending it wasn't happening. And they were going to, I guess WB was going to jump in the Speed Force, and they just said, "Hey, we're going to settle. We would like you to settle with each one of these multiple cases, please, and get it done." And so they did. And so then they didn't have to pay any consequences. So then it was just like, oh, I just have to pay money to be abusive? Okay. And so if this was a cry for help, rather than getting help, you're not going to do that. You're going to just spend some money and pay it off, get it done, and make it disappear. All right. Well, that's a choice too. How's that working out for the star, for Ezra? Well, they then assaulted somebody else 2 nights ago and went back to jail again. Now I don't care about the Flash. Now I'm really worried about them. It's not looking healthy. It's not looking good. And it's not looking good for them and their personal health. It's not looking good for the cause of the gender expansive set. And it is looking bad for the WB. If you care about such things, just want to say, again, Discovery, you are not helping. 7 years. We've been waiting for this movie. I don't know that we're going to get it. Another movie from the WB that is experiencing some issues with Ezra Miller and Ezra Miller issues right now, because they are a star of a movie. It's Ezra Miller and the Beasts of Dumbledor is Gay. I think that's the name. In theaters right now. Ezra Miller is a star therein. And he had a big part of the story. Spoiler alert for this horrible movie that nobody's watching because it's just bad. Of course, made by the TERF J.K. Rowling. That's weird. Non-binary person to be in the TERF's movie. This is the second one. But they are the brother of Dumbledore, I believe. Or they're either the brother of Dumbledore or the brother of the baddie. Either way, they had a very explosive, dramatic, like, I'll break everything scene in the first movie. And they sort of just toned that way down for the second movie because they didn't want any more of that kind of publicity of seeing Ezra behave badly in movies, because that would be disturbing, because people now know that in real life, Ezra maybe behaves that way toward people. And so rather than address it or get them help, again, the non-helpful WB and the TERF, Rowling, just changed the character a little bit and put them in fewer scenes and took them smaller place on the poster. They're still in it. You know, who's not in it now, though, is Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp was replaced entirely by Maz Nicholson by the WB because gross. No. We know that you're an abuser. We all know, because about the Amber Heard, we heard the outcome. That's enough. We didn't need to know more about it. But then he said, hey, but the way that she was able to prove that I was an abuser is that she was recording me illegally, which defamed me and made me unable to be the Pirate of the Caribbean. And so is suing this woman who he abused, who he lost an abuse case to, for $55 million. This no acting, very few parts getting, not very much talent having actress who was most famous for being married to Johnny Depp is now being sued by Johnny Depp for $55 million. Johnny Depp, who is currently in the process of, seen here, in fact, doing the method acting of demonstrating what it looks like to be an anthropomorphized melting candle, scented Schlitz and cigarettes. I watched I watched about 20 minutes of Mr. Deep's trial today, and I'm going to say some gross words that I don't like now, in the context that is understood. The sort of thing that he was upset that Amber Heard had recorded and made international news. I am not going to quote any of the most vulgar, upsetting, and abusive language used, nor am I going to talk about with any specificity what had happened, what evidence was brought forward today. Again, nobody has been found guilty of anything or innocent of anything in this, again, defamation case. This is coming up again because this egotistical asshole doesn't get to be the pirate of the Caribbean and decided he was going to sue for the defamation. No. It wasn't because the movies kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse, and then it was finally a big pile of shit. Not at all. It didn't actually turn into the riot at Disney. Nope, that wasn't it. It was because Amber Heard told on you. Okay. I'm sure the cocaine had nothing to do with it. Anyway, he said of her in a text to a friend who was a family friend at the time. They have children together. And in one of the texts that was allowed into evidence, both sides, he said, and I quote, "Is that slippery cunt who I occasionally donated my jizz to there?" Again, his defense team allowed that into the courtroom. And he is suing her for making him look bad. Did she put those hair plugs in for you or dye them? This is a very disappointing thing happening, very upsetting for all of Generation X, because we grew up believing two things. One, that though he was 10 years older than us, he, Johnny Depp, looked exactly the same age that we did. And two, that he, a grown-ass man, walking around what was supposed to be a high school with grown-ass actors, could somehow blend into a high school, creating 21 Jump Street. No. Anyway, hey, we're gonna shift gears. My phone actually did not ring. It did go off. I got two texts from nobody while we were talking. Just we're gonna let's shake that off. Let's shake that off. Let's have a smoke. And while we're smoking, I want to let you know that if you I don't know, you enjoy the dulcet tones of my voice, but you'd like to hear that contrasted against another voice. I don't know, a genius like maybe Professor Dana Townsend. Well, there's a place you could do that. That's just episode 151. That's not true. It's episode 152 now. I can count. Joshua, that's the wrong. Okay, let's take a hit. Episode 152. Oligarchs, eugenics, and social media is now available on all your favorite podcatchers. That's myself. That's Dana Townsend. That is Mylan and Mellon and Raising the Temp. Where do you listen to podcasts? That's where we are. We're right there. We're right there. Sorry about that noise, that squeak there. Hey, remember when your phone used to make you feel like this? When this little some bitch used to make you feel like that? Remember that? When like just having a new one, and if you got a phone call, you felt like that, and now you get a phone call, and it makes you feel like that, right? Because there's never anyone there, and it's never from anyone you know, and you don't even pick up the phone anymore. And who would call you? Why would you call me? Listen, let me tell you something. If you are not my parent, if you are not my sibling, if you're not one of my nibblings, there is no reason for you to be calling me on a fucking telephone. How rude are you? We text in this day and age. And do you know what? People who do the advertisements on the goddamn phone know it. They know it. And that's why you're getting more phone calls about your car insurance and about your health insurance and about how old you are. And it doesn't matter how old you are because they're not actually doing it demographically. Everybody's getting phone calls for everybody. I don't know who the first person was, but apparently there's a job waiting for him someplace or another. Another bank account is overdrawn, and one is closed. I do not understand what's happening. I do understand this, though. I understand why it's happening. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's this big mugged motherfucker right here. That's who this is. That's why all of this is happening. That's Ajit Pai. Ajit Pai. I think Pai or Pai. I'm not sure. PAI. Okay? That's Trump's FCC chairman who opposed all of the Obama era rules to limit robocalls. Then he refused to appeal an industry-backed court ruling that would allow your phone to become more unusable cesspool of unknown spammers. This person is the reason that it is all happening. All right, I'm going to tell you a little bit about this clown. Okay, after law school, this guy clerked as a judge for Martin Leach Cross Feldman in district court in Eastern District of Louisiana from 1997 to 1998. Pai then worked for the Antitrust Division of the U.S. Department of Justice as honors program trial attorney for the telecommunications task force. Could have used telecommunication happening up there when you're trying to read that word there, right, Joshua? You know what I'm saying. I lost the word for a second. Sorry about that. While he was there, he worked for the proposed mergers and acquisitions area on novel requests for regulatory relief following the enactment of the Telecommunications Act. Wow, we really do need to get one in the brain hole. Telecommunications Act of 1996. So we had an act that limited how much these assholes could just be calling and calling and calling and calling and calling and calling at random, any number they feel like it, buying a number from wherever, buying a list from of anyone you ever called from retail, right? Real estate, I was going to say. Maybe real estate. Did you buy a house? I'll bet you get a lot of messages from people who want to buy your house. If you just bought a house, ridiculous shit. The whole reason that happens is because of this big cup. He hates this picture. That's not fair. Let's not. Here, listen. What we're talking about is real job. Let's put a real picture. Okay. Thank you, Joshua. Really appreciate that. Calm down. I'm going to bring it down. Cup of fucks. Small cup of fucks, because small fucks get a small fuck. A small fuck. Okay. All right. Tone it down. He left the Department of Justice in 2001 to serve as associate counsel for Verizon Communications. I don't know if you've ever had Verizon, but man, oh man, it is salamabiche to try to get out of Verizon. It's a son of a pistol. Let me tell you, it's no good. It's no good at all. The do not call list did work for a minute. Yeah, a very short minute. Angel, you are absolutely correct. That was part of the that 1996 Telecommunications Act, and it was Captain Big Cup who got that gun. Nummy num. He hates this picture. Nummy. Gulp. By the way, he has a Louisiana accent. And I heard that could have sounded like I was doing some like fake Southeast Asian accent. I was not. That was me getting from the L to the P on gulp. So I was gulping. I apologize. He would say gulp. That's not a Louisiana accent. I'm terrible at accents. I don't even know what any of that meant. He left there. He worked for Verizon for a while. He handled competition initiatives. He left Verizon in 2003. Was hired as deputy chief counsel to the United States Senate Judiciary Committee on the Subcommittee on Administrative Oversight and the Courts. He returned to the Department of Justice to serve as senior counsel in the Office of Legal Policy in May of 2004. He held that position until February 2005 when he was hired as chief counsel to the Subcommittee on the Constitution, Civil Rights, Property Rights. You know how we all can't pay our rent? You know how nobody can buy a house? You know how you can't figure out where you're going to live? That's the people he was defending. That's this guy's team. Team Verizon. Remember that when you're signing your next contract. Verizon, we won't let you out of your contract ever. Num. Hey, let's transition. Let's get out of this. Let's not be talking about this anymore because who cares? We did get some fan mail this week. I'm gonna wrap it up with a little bit of fan mail because, man, oh man, I love to get fan mail, and I got this on my personal Facebook page, and it was in response to a thing that, listen, we all curate our pages to the best of our abilities. I do have a public page. I allow for people to comment should they so choose. It is part of the discourse. I think it's important. Though I don't put things out necessarily for debate. I do put things out that I think matter. And an artist, comedian, Jane Malone, had created a beautiful, beautiful placard that I very proudly place all over my page. I made it my banner. In this house, we believe all cops are bastards, landlords are parasites. There are no good billionaires. War is racist, money is fake, solidarity is everything. That's how we get down. Okay? That's how we get down right around here, and that's how we're going to keep getting down. And that's what it is. And well, I that struck a lot of nerves. Got a lot of responses. Most of them positive for the first 24 hours that I had shared this. In fact, a few other people, I shared it from a friend, and Patrick had shared Jane's post. I shared Patrick's post, sharing Jane's post. A few people shared my post, and as they were, one of them evidently tripped on a Trump hive. And I, for about half a day, and I did not know this because I wasn't paying attention to them, because comments, I'm not reading those. If two, I'll read if there's two, but if there's a thread of, that means people are having a discussion that I probably don't want to be a part of. So midday, I read them. And it turns out that the 50 or so comments, I don't remove comments very often. Say what you want to say. You're welcome to it, but just don't be an asshole and pretend you didn't say it. Right? Well. Whoo! Couple comments had to get moved because it was just going to cause trauma to people. Didn't want those there. But one thing that did happen is this. It was very clever. And I want to give a shout out to the artist, the activist who did this, because he didn't just like do what he didn't like find a picture of a monkey and be like, oh, this is you. He didn't like, oh, look, hey, niggers hate everyone, or BLM, or gay, you, homo, F word, whatever. He didn't do all of that. It wasn't any of that. It was much smarter. It was much, and it took effort. He took time. He crafted his thoughts, and I think that our guy Marco Diaz, who I'm sure refers to himself as Marco Diaz, created this gem in response to Jane's banner. It says, for anyone who's watching, this is it. In this house, we believe, 1, democracy is the worst form of government. Modern science is fake and gay. Feminism and its consequences have been a disaster for the human race. Global leaders commune with demons. The nations are obliged to obey Christ and privilege his church. Which, I have to say, this is the most inviting please come to my church I have ever gotten. Usually it's like a pancake breakfast. Do you want to come to a pancake breakfast? Or hey, I'm doing a presentation. Would you like to come sometime? Oh, by the way, it's a church. But this, chef's kiss. Come on. This is love. This is moving from love. This is just so ridiculous. I do want to just for 4 seconds break this down with you. It's going to be longer than 4 seconds, maybe. Let's all the nations are obliged. The nations, all of them, everybody, everyone is obligated to obey Christ and privilege His church. All right. Well, I did my Sunday. I took care of my pubic topiary, and the Easter eggs are located and decorated. So I got that. Global leaders commune with demons. Yikes! Can't agree with you more. That demon Trump was running all over the globe, wasn't he? Still running his mouth at that. Feminism and its consequences have been a disaster for the human race. That's just dumb. Modern science is fake and gay. That's just. Let's just let that sit on the tongue like an M&M when you're trying to like let the sugar melt off until there's nothing left but a little ball of chocolate on your tongue. Just modern science is fake and gay. That's good. That's good. So I don't understand is gayness and trans people like we're fake? Like non-binary people, trans people, queer people, LGBTQIA, like we're fake, or we're science, or science is fake, or is science gay, or are we science? Which would make us fake and gay, I guess, by this logic. This one's a tautology. That one's hard for me to break. Democracy is the worst form of government. Okay, I need for any white liberal who believes at all in anything that your country has ever lied to you and said that this country is about to understand that this is the agenda of what you have been calling the far right. What we have known is the white supremacist core. It's the Tootsie Roll core in the lollipop, and it doesn't take that many licks to get inside. Democracy is the worst form of government. They want a fascist leader. They want to be led. They want to be told what to do. They want to be told that they are good. They want to be told that they are special. They want to be told that they are the best. They want to be told that if anything went wrong, it's because of everybody else. And they want to be told that it's all going to be okay as they are walking around, as are the rest of us, on a giant rock, hurtling around the sun. And in the center of that rock, there is molten lava that just creeps out from the middle once in a while, and they just want to feel safe. Whew. Well, shout out, though, one more time to Marco Diaz. I'm going to say your name like that because you deserve it. Your ancestors deserve it. It matters. Names matter. And we love you. Gonna take that grossness off the screen because I would hate for that to be the last thing that I leave you with. Again, Jane Malone. You can find them on Facebooks and I'm sure other places. Type in the thing. Take a screen cap of the image and tell Jane you want a sign or a sticker or a shirt, and make it be known, and make it be known at the polls. Get ready to be voting in all of your local elections. Take action. Show up at your school board as they did for Mr. Chu. here at PPS. Not getting deep into that today, but I do want to say thank you to every one of the freedom fighters who was there. You are deeply appreciated here at Smoke and Mirrors. I also want to let you know that if you would like to see me live, that opportunity is coming up. It's right around the bend. Swear to goodness gracious. It happens the first Thursday of every month, beginning this month, May. What is that? That's May the 5th. What is that? That's Cinco de Mayo. What is that? That's some bullshit marketing idea to help white people have another holiday to drink beer. Anyway, we will be there. Doors at 8, show at 8:30. Myself and Dahlia DeLu. Bell, there's going to be live music. There's going to be live comedy, and there's going to be live love in the building. Come and get your little bit. $10 at the door. Alberta Street Pub. You know what to do. I still yell whenever I do an announcement like I'm a 1990s rapper because I was one. This has been another episode of Smoke and Mirrors. Hey, you know what it is. We love having you here. Thank you so much for joining us. If you would like to look at some pictures of the shows that we've done in the past and maybe choose one that you want to look at for your very own self, you can do that at the IG Instagram at Smoke and Mirrors CCB. That is for comedy, culture, and blackness. Do you want to see the Twitter thoughts? What is that? That's just some of the random thoughts that maybe end up in the show. That's Twitter at Caballo Negrito. Twitter at Caballo Negrito. Yes, I did pronounce that correctly as well. For those who are monolingual amongst us, I will let you know that Caballo Negrito translates directly to a white Spanish-speaking person is still a white person. Don't care where you're from. Don't care where you're from. Hey, do you have a question, a query, a thought, a guest who you think should be on Smoke and Mirrors? Well, you know what to do. Hit us up at smokeandmirrorsccb@gmail.com. Please do reach out. We haven't been able to get into the Gmails in a bit. Joshua and I have been under it, but we will get to it as soon as we are able. Apologies to anybody who's waiting on a response. I want to let you know that this is a thing that is produced and hosted by myself, Carlos Kareem Wyndham. Also, production associate Joshua. We gets down. You get down. Thank you for being here. Sincerely appreciate your time, your vulnerability. You're taking risks to be here with us. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Just because a mandate was lifted doesn't mean you have to wear a don't have to wear a mask. You still can. You can wear one if you want to. And hey, go and get a vaccine. Go get a vaccine. Everybody deserves a vaccine. Get a flu vaccine, get a COVID vaccine, every kind of vaccine. Extra vaccine for everybody. Okay. Bye-bye. That's the show. We're going to see you next time, next Thursday. Okay.